It's an exciting day here in the garden. We have got our first raised beds, or our first lot of new raised beds. We had two, well, we had one that we bought from our old place, but we divided. So you buy these and they're supposed to be like 2 levels high. We just cut it in half, and then we're actually going to do that for these ones. So we're going to have 4 here. It's going to take quite a while because got to put these screws in. Here we are back at this pile. Got 2 fresh bags since we've been to the dump, so let's get this pile a bit closer to the ground, but it's going to take a decent amount of trips still, and that pile over there that we don't really want to talk about just yet until this one's finished, so let's get this one done first. Okay, so it's definitely going to be 2 more bags to go because I got that one there, one by the car ready to go to the dump today. This will be done on the next ones, and we finally got our little potato patches that will be down here, or whatever we want to put on the ground, because we're going to have raised beds everywhere, but this will be one of the patches where we just have it coming out straight out of the ground, same as down there by that plant pot. Basically is like another ground bit that we'll use. So this area is finally cleared up, filled up these 2 bags, and they're not that full, but because they were so wet it's pretty heavy, so I don't want to add too much in, otherwise when we get to the dump we won't be able to lift them above the rails to get them in the actual skip thing. So yeah, that bit is finally open again after quite a while. This here is the 4th raised bed that has been put together. I've already done 3 of them on that one level, and then we're going to do 1 with the double level with like 2 stacked on top of each other basically. So we have a bunch of small ones and 1 big one, and then this is going to be like the first lot just to see how they sort of fit into the garden, and then we're going to order quite a lot more. But yeah, they take quite long, to be honest, a bit longer than I thought. They've got pretty long screws that go in. I'm having to just use this basically. It was 17. I went into, my brother gave me like a bit to use on a drill that you attach to it, but they were like, no, I don't think we've got one big enough for that, or the drill wasn't going to be able to put it through. And I was like, it probably looks quite big, but I don't know, maybe a drill could actually put it in, but you know what, I don't mind doing it with the hands. But yeah, they take like quite long to do it, so obviously you have to put in 2 per, you could probably just do 1, but it's better to put 2 per side. So yeah, a few more and then we'll order in a bunch, get more in. So one thing me and my mum seem to do a lot in this garden is keep unveiling new steps that we didn't know were there before. This happened again, so this is where we sort of come up from my house up here, and then I was just sweeping away this bit that looks like a rockery sort of here. I was just sweeping away all the thistles or whatever it's called, and then I found these like 3 steps here. These are sort of like underground, well not even underground, they were just under a large amount of thistle and sort of dirt that I've moved now, and some other shit. It looked like we could probably make a path that just sort of goes around the edge if we wanted to. I don't know if there's any point to that, but we could if we wanted to, and finish off these bits here where there's no rocks, there's no sort of, you know, wall to the edge, so we could finish that off. And I want to build like a little sectioned off raised bed area here from like the blue wheelbarrow down to about this tree, just like have a nice section here, build that, and yeah, maybe finish off this rockery. I'm gonna sweep this off today. I might even find more bits of a slab underneath here, so I'm gonna sweep this up and see what else we find. Here are a couple of our raised beds right here, and then coming into our area that we don't really go in that much. I'm just gonna give it a little clean out because it's haven't gone here in a while. I forgot there's this pile of stuff here, but this ground is kind of mossy. I want to put some grass seed down because that end is okay, kind of, not really. There's barely any, but here there's just nothing. So yeah, I'm gonna take out all this out the ground and probably just try and rake it up a bit, and then put in some seed. Lay some seed.
Just lopping the cherry trees which have got too long and spindly because they've been too much in the dark.
From the last people who lived here.
A hard prune.
Oh, it's down.
And hopefully we'll get some good growth next year from the base. Chop all these little bits off.
Going savage.
Yeah, but it'll be good for it. And I think we've got down here an apricot.
Bit of LST.
And again,
Go on.
Might have to be.
It's right, I'll do that one.
Might be a saw involved in that one.
So I can do that one, that's fine.
Chopping right down, take all the old stems off.
This is the one that we can't remember. This is either an apricot or something like that.
Damson or something.
It's not that, but it's definitely, I think it's apricot.
And again, I'm not sure what we've got here, but a lot of dead wood.
Isn't that just a random tree, or is that apple tree maybe?
Yeah, I think this might have actually had it.
And then this one actually looks like a normal sort of shape, so this one's not too bad, the pear tree, but I don't really know much about fruit trees to be honest, so I don't know how that's going to look in a few years, but hopefully better than that. But there you go. Right now they just look like dead sticks, but hopefully in years to come they'll be fruitful and multiply. Okay, I've cleared out all this bit. We've now got another pile building up. Just after I cleared up that one, another one starts, but that happens every time really, so. But yeah, I've got this sort of first section cleared out. Just had to rip out a load of stuff off the floor, then a load of raking. But I still got quite a lot more to do really. But I might just seed up this bit first and then do the rest. So we're gonna carry on taking more of these little bramble stems out the ground. Otherwise they're just going to come back. But I'm going to carry on doing this bit and just trying to get the rest of the garden, the rest of this like part of the garden anyway, in this sort of state here. So I'm going to do that whilst my mum gets rid of the little roots. It's quite a lot to do. We're going to go basically up to the tree, just form a line here. I just trimmed all this grass here and brambly stuff. Underneath there's loads of moss. It's actually probably the mossiest bit underneath all the grass because I guess it's more moist underneath there. So yeah, we're going to go up to the tree line for now, but we just took that bit out just to see what it's going to be like underneath the next bit we do. But afterwards, yeah, we're going to just give it another whole scrape over, get the ground kind of nice and crumbly so it's not too compact, and then we'll just throw the seed down and then work our way back up. Okay, we've cleared out as much as we're going to clear today. There's our last pile of rubbish that we need to put into another bucket because we filled up these few with just moss, roots, just loads of little shoots coming out the ground. And now we're going to start seeding it. And then we've got the second half. We're just going to leave a path down here and a path up there so we can water it. And then obviously we can just walk down the side here and water up this way, and then we'll leave that bit for a little bit. We'll leave that section for a while, and then well, maybe not too long, and then we'll just finish that off. So here it is, all seeded out. Got our path down here and down there to water it, but yeah, it looks kind of weird on camera. Almost looks like it snowed a little bit. But there you go. Seeded that all up. There's the mad person in the back. There it is. That's the biggest bit of patch I've ever seeded right there. Hopefully soon we'll have a nice little comparison to give you. Should be a nice change. We need to just get onto that last bit. We've still got loads of seed left. I mean, I've already seeded pretty much this whole garden already, but it did already have grass in it compared to that bit. You can see how much better now the whole garden is. Just completely green everywhere. All through here, just nice greenness. Even on the slope, which took the longest to green up, we're green now. Slope is green. So that was like the last thing to go. So now that we finally finished this pile right here, it's now time for this beast. That's been here for quite a while now, probably like a month, but this one's going to take quite a few dump trips to get rid of, that's for sure. So you'll just see this slowly go down bit by bit, but it'll probably take quite a while because we'll have to space out the dump trips between going back and forth to London. So yeah, I don't know why there's a ladder on there, but it's on there. Okay, we've got 2 bags done. Still looks pretty much the same size. It's been about a week now since we put down this grass seed, and it's finally just starting to come through in the slightest bit, if you can sort of see it starting up. So this is one day after the last recording, and you can see the difference already. What we're going to do is actually put another bunch over, because where it's been raining a lot, I think it's pushed the seeds down, because it's obviously on a slope, so there's patches where it seems there's not any seed at all. So I'm just going to go about and chuck some more before it gets too thick to sort of get it right down to the soil fully. It's kind of hard to do that when the grass is quite thick already, so let's do that now and get these patches sorted. getting even longer now. It's so cool to be able to seed up this big of a patch. It would have been cool if I just actually cleared out this whole bit and done it in one go, but oh well. This pile was finally defeated. Just raked off the bottom of all the leaves that have been mulching and just soggy from the constant rain we've had for the past couple of weeks. So that bag is done now. It actually took a bit less than I thought. I think I said 10 bags it would do it in, and I think it was, I'd say 8, but there was other things chucked in there. So if it was just purely that pile, I reckon it would have been about 6 or 7 bags, but I did put in a big pile of that, of the leaves that fell off this tree, a farm maple tree, which is our most beautiful tree for sure. I mean, look at that, look at the colours, and the colours have been changing. It feels like every week. So it's a really vibrant tree to sort of have in the garden, add a bit of colour, but the leaves go everywhere. I mean, the pile was way bigger than this. I put most of it in the bags, but it was covering this whole area, so it does span quite far where the leaves fall. But yeah, it does take quite a while to rake them up, to be fair, but it's only from one tree. But the rest of the trees in the garden don't actually drop that much leaves, so it's only really this one. So that means it doesn't cause too much hassle. But another pile down. I predict that soon there'll be another pile there for sure. I mean, that's just the way it goes, just like over there, that bit. I mean, this bit is still clear, but you can see beyond this bit, that where there was a pile before, we've got another pile over here. It's not crazy big, but it came from all the stuff down behind the fence at the back there. So yeah, I'll get round to that one probably next. Or there might be some other things that I've forgotten about, but